Hello, Chantel. Hello, everyone. How are you? We've got a few minutes. Making sure you're prepared. Welcome those on Facebook. I just checked. I saw a couple there. So I'm glad to see you're on Facebook. And I'm here on Zoom. I can't actually see the video feed, so I won't adjust until I get my video feed up. And but otherwise, if you just have audio of me, go ahead and have blocks ready today. We're going to start off in our heart bench and begin our breath work in heart bench, slowly opening up the lungs and supporting them today. Have a strap. I always like to use the strap even when we stretch our legs up slightly. You don't need the strap necessarily. You can use your hands and arms to support the legs and increase the stretch with the hands if we're in a supine on our back position. One other thing you might want is maybe a blanket, or if you don't have blocks, especially have a blanket you can roll up or a firm pillow. And again, if you don't have a strap, that's fine too. If you'd like to use one, you can always use a belt or a rope that's not too abrasive, something that's comfortable to use. That's long enough for you to extend your arms and your legs and be able to hold the strap as it binds around the foot, being able to lengthen the leg as much as you can. Let's see. So we have about a minute, so you have time. Maybe even have a little sip of water. Nothing too intense as we stretch and do forward folds on the floor. Just be mindful of how much you intake. All right, let me see. Oh, there I have video feed. There we go. Good. All right, so let us begin. Heart bench. But first, my name is Angie, and I welcome you here to Yin Yoga. Yin Yoga is all on the floor. We do some transitional yoga moves between the Yin Yoga positions. So just be mindful that Yin Yoga is really about mindful stretching, stretching with your breath and the movements of the breath with the body. So we coordinate and really are mindful of how we move and knowing what our body is trying to tell us. If you know that your knee is sensitive today, then just be very careful with the knee. Maybe have a blanket and add extra cushion under the knee if we are on our knees. Or if you're sensitive in your shoulder, maybe knowing not to bring the arm up all the way, but knowing you can always bend the elbow and just be mindful of the shoulder. Of course, if you cannot bring it up at all, just lifting up and using the torso and bringing the shoulders back if we cannot bring the arms up. So just be mindful of the positions. Again, even in heart bench, as we come into heart bench, just be mindful of how the spine feels, how the neck feels. Normally in heart bench, the blocks are about the same height of each other as the chin might come back slightly, opening up the heart. But if you have a sensitive neck and you need to bring it up, then you may bring the block up. Maybe even place a blanket for extra cushion to support the head. And I'll show you how we get into heart bench if you've never done it before. Again, in heart bench, as we lay on the floor, supported by 2 blocks or blankets or sturdy pillows, you can also have your legs straight out. If it's uncomfortable for the knees or the lower back, we use a blanket underneath the knees. And this helps to support and reduce tension in the lower back as you lift the knees up using this blanket. Of course, you can use anything you have, so a firm blanket, a pillow, or even a block. If you have extra blocks, you can place them underneath. So I welcome you here, and let us begin. Heart bench. 1 block will go up along the spine, starting around where a woman's bra line is, or just above, about midway up the thoracic spine, supporting the shoulder blades even on the inside, and slowly coming down and finding that spot where it hits. And then gently rolling down and making sure it's nice and long along the spine. And then finding your block and seeing if you can bring the head down and feel the back of the head flatly and securely onto the block. Adjust yourself as you need to. Again, you can bend the knees, use a blanket. You can even come into bound angle, bringing feet together, knees out. If you have a lot of pressure on your lower back, you might even bring the knees in. Feet come out and slightly forward, and gently allow the knees to collapse inward and support each other. The arms can come out into a T, opening up the chest, the heart. Feeling the heart completely supported, the spine supported from the mid-thoracic up to the shoulders. If you wish to have more opening through the shoulder, we're going to lift the arms, maybe sliding them back, but allowing them to completely relax. Feeling the shoulder blades maybe coming in towards each other. Again, if it's too much, you're always welcome to bring the arms down by the side or even gently onto the belly. Again, in Yin Yoga, we do intense stretching, but you find your edge. You listen to how you are today, in the moment, here for the hour. Listening to the breath, it should be moving with ease, effortlessly moving in and out. And once you've found the position that you would like to stay in, we usually stay about at least 3 minutes in a pose, sometimes longer. Begin to close the eyes. And focus on the breath. Make any adjustments you may need for your neck, shoulders, lower back. Deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. And on your exhale, surrender into the block, surrender the arms into the floor, surrender the hips into the floor. On your next exhale, relax the face, relax the eyes, the forehead. Feel the back of the head pressing into your block or pillow or blanket. And even think that it's gravity pushing you there, not you. You're surrendering completely, relaxing. Even the tongue relaxes. You might even feel a gentle constriction in your throat as you allow gravity to just press upon you. Allow your body to relax. Allow the heart to be open and supporting. Inhale through the nose. Maybe find an intention for this practice today. Maybe an intention that goes beyond the practice. Maybe for today. A feeling, a gentle tug on your mind, leading you somewhere. Finding that peace in this hour. Begin to center the mind. Focusing the breath. Open up the arms if they're by the hips. Otherwise, extend them out like in a T. Breathe. Inhale, maybe allow the arms to reach up beyond the head. Maybe the fingertips relax on the floor. Breathe. Lungs fully open, expanding with each inhale. Filling completely, and with the exhale, releasing all the old air out of the lungs. And see if you can do this actively, pressing the belly button towards the spine, feeling gently the diaphragm, lifting the lower ribs, Inhaling as much air as you can in. Exhaling as much air out the mouth. Begin to clasp opposite elbows. Again, listening to the body, knowing this is your practice. Noticing how the shoulders feel. See if you can relax your lower back. Releasing the tension. Inhale, extend the arms out, away from the head. Breathe, extend through the fingertips, allowing the blood to course through. Open, free, exhale, arms come out to the side. And then down by the hips, bending the elbows, feeling the forearms rest onto the floor. Begin to bend the knees if they are not already bent. Gently moving the knees just an inch to the right, then to the left. Breathing. And on the next inhale, allowing yourself to roll onto one side. The arm on that side will support you as you come off the blocks. The upper arm will come down and support the torso further. And move your blocks away. Breathe. Bring one block by the hip as you come back onto your back into a supine position. Bending your knees. We're going to bring the knees in gently. Again, having your block, pillow, or blanket next to you. Breathe in, and then exhale, squeeze the thighs gently into the abdominal region. Squeezing as much as you can, and maybe wrapping your hands around so they touch the wrist, maybe the forearm, or maybe you can get a full box grip and bring hands to elbows, wrapping around the knees. Doing what you can do. Exhale, press the thighs in again. Inhale, keep the squeeze. And then gently on your next inhale, begin to press the tailbone down, trying to flatten the back. Exhale, release the knees and bring the feet to the floor, trying to bring the heels close to your glutes. We're going to try and keep the heels underneath the knees. We're going to come up into a supported bridge. Shoulder blades gently come in. So feel the shoulders dropping closer to the floor. Bring the elbows in nice and tight by the ribs. Palms will be up. Keep the feet parallel to each other. The thighs are parallel to each other. The knees are tracking the feet, and they must keep tracking the feet as we come up into supported bridge. Inhale deeply. Exhale, belly button comes to the floor, reaching. Breathe, feeling the tailbone lifting as the belly presses down. Feel the heels of your feet press into the floor. Quadriceps begin to engage. Glutes engage. Inhale. And then exhale, lift the pelvis up, reaching the knees forward, tracking the toes, feeling the pressure more on the shoulders. Squeeze the glutes. Breathe. You're going to find your block, pillow, or blanket. And wherever your hips are, bring it, the block or your prop underneath, right underneath the tailbone. And then slowly exhale. Relax the tailbone onto the block. Take your time, adjust yourself as you need to. If you find that you need to go down, then bring the block down. If you wish
to come up a little bit more. Remember to use the breath with the movement. Inhaling, beginning to squeeze the glutes. Exhaling, beginning to lift, and then allowing the prop to come up a little bit higher. So adjusting as you need to. If you do use two, allow the wide part always to support you. You always get best support with more surface area of the block. And then notice if the blocks are stable or if they're angling, trying to adjust them so that they don't angle. The last thing you need is to have a block collapse under you. And breathe, holding it here, relaxing the hips into your blocks or pillows or blanket. Feel the shoulders gently pressing against the floor. Feel the back of the head relax, trying to keep good spinal alignment, not moving the head to the right or to the left. Keeping it in alignment, chin is close to your chest. Arms are by the side. Or if you feel comfortable, maybe you'll come into goalpost or goddess arms. Or you might even extend the arms completely, depending on what your shoulders are telling you. Deep breath in. Exhale. Relax the face, the eyes. About a minute here. Adjusting anything you need. Maybe even finding an edge. Maybe extending the right leg out. Beginning and maybe extending the left leg out. Stretching a little bit more through the hip flexors. Shedding the ego, allowing you to reveal yourself without a shell, without a wall. Allowing yourself to be you in this hour, knowing that you were made with exactly what you needed inside. Your heart strong, your mind finding confidence in who you are, accepting where you are, where your body is, and allowing the mind to be still and at peace with that. Begin to bend the knees if they're straight. We're going to come into supported shoulder stand. Again, you can stay in bridge if you feel like it. You can drop the blocks down one or maybe raise them up. Slowly, if you come into shoulder stand, a supported shoulder stand, just lift up the right foot, bending at the knee. Notice how the blocks feel. Do they feel completely supported underneath you? They're not moving, angling. Maybe the left leg will come up if you feel completely supported. Adjusting as you need to. And then if you feel completely supported, then the legs can begin to straighten. breathe deeply in. Feel the opening of the chest and the lift. Exhale. Feel the shoulders pressed into the floor. The heart. We're giving it quite a bit of rest today with heart bench. And now with shoulder stand. And slowly exhale, right leg begins to come down, bending at the knee. Take your time. Notice how your lower back feels. Then the left leg comes down into your supported bridge. Press the heels into the floor. Begin to engage the quadriceps, thighs, and your glutes, and slowly lift and remove the blocks, coming slowly down one vertebra at a time. Bringing knees to one side, then the other. Gently swaying the knees, maybe opening up like a book and then closing. Take your time. Bring the knees in together close, and then grab the knees with your hands, squeeze in, and gently moving side to side. Noticing the lower back. And bring the knees in. Gently bring the head up. We're going to just stretch to the cervical spine and the upper thoracic. Holding it here, and then exhale. Bring the head down. Bring the feet down. Extend the arms completely. Breathe. Coming into Banana Asana to the right. So, if you've never done this before, it's basically bringing your body into a banana shape to one side and the other. Basically a crescent moon. And we bring feet to the lower right corner of your mat. Maybe it'll come off of the mat. Hips will stay planted, completely rooted to the center of the mat. Now your shoulders, your arms will start to move towards the upper right corner of your mat. Breathe. The head is between the arms. The arms both are on the floor. Shoulder blades both are on the floor. Feel the stretch through the left side of the body, extending maybe the left arm over more. Breathe, lifting the ribs gently, but keeping shoulder blades, hips on the floor. Maybe the left leg will cross over the right, maybe not. The back of the head is relaxed onto the floor. Focus on the breath. With each exhale, surrendering, relaxing, wherever you may be feeling tension, be it the hip, the left hip, maybe it's the arm, maybe you need to bend the left elbow. There should never be any pain in the practice. One more breath cycle. And inhale back to center. Realign the spine, bringing feet back to center, arms back to center, head centered. Good, long spine, reach. Extend through the heels, through the fingertips. Exhale, feet to the left, lower corner of the mat. Keep the hips centered, the same spot, they're rooted there. And slowly begin to shift shoulders, arms to the upper right corner of your, or left corner of your mat. Breathe. Both shoulder blades will remain onto the floor. Both arms remain on the floor. Head is between the arms. Feet might be coming off of the mat. Maybe bring the right leg over the left to intensify the stretch along the right side of your body. Breathe. Allow the mind to focus on the breath. Allow the breath to breathe in the intention, helping it to focus on your purpose just for this hour. Allowing your mind to be free of all the thoughts outside of the room, all the worries, all the stress that stays outside of the room. And in here, in this practice, it's just you, quiet in the mind. Inhale long, begin to extend the spine back to center in alignment. Extending through the heels, through the fingertips, again bending elbows for sensitive shoulders. Arms come out into a T, opening up the heart. Breathe, exhale, hands down by the hips. Bending the knees. We're going to bring in just the right knee, squeeze it in, extend the left leg out. Using the strap, if you have one. Again, you don't have to. But finding your strap, we're going to place it at the base of the right toes and slowly extend the foot up, reaching up as high as it can go. Noticing that you can bend the knee, the left leg planting firmly to the floor. Feel the left calf pressing to the floor, keeping the left hip on the floor. We're going to grab onto the strap or the leg with the right arm and then slowly guide it down towards the floor. Noticing the opening of the hips here. Breathe. Listening to the body. If the foot will not come to the floor, you can place a block blanket or pillow underneath the leg where it can rest. About 3 cycles of breath here. With each cycle, allowing yourself to relax through the open hips. With each exhale, maybe allowing more intensity, maybe sliding the foot up a little bit closer towards the head. Extend the exhale, deepen it. Feel the ribs, feel the shoulder blades relax into the floor. Inhale, slowly begin to lift the leg, reaching up. Press that left foot to the floor and extend the right leg closer to you. Feel the stretch through the hamstring. And then switching hands, left hand may reach for the leg or the strap, whatever you have. Right arm comes out into a T, and then slowly allow the right leg to cross over the left. Right hip will come off the floor. And maybe the right leg will reach for the floor. If not, use a blanket pillow or block to support your leg. Feel this gentle twist. Feel the ribs lift gently. Try and keep the shoulder blades onto the floor. Right arm extending out in a T. Maybe adding a gentle twist through the cervical spine. Listen to the body and see if your chin will reach over towards the right hand. Use your breath with the movement. To intensify, you begin to slide the right leg up closer to the head. Again, listening to the body. The left leg is relaxed on the floor. Deep exhale. Breathe. Relax any tension you may feel in the leg, the lower back, the ribs, the spine, the neck. Even relax your fingers. Relax the toes. Deep inhale. Begin to bring your mind back to the core, belly button engaging. Left arm begins to slowly lift. Right leg lifts up. Bring the right hand back to the strap or to your leg and bring that leg in gently. Bending the knee, squeeze it in. Squeeze it gently into the abdominals, pressing into the internal organs, squeezing old blood out. Exhale, releasing, opening up, releasing the organs, extending the right leg out and bringing the left leg in, squeezing the left thigh into the abdomen, pressing as much as you can in, gently into the organs. And on your exhale, placing the strap or your hand onto your left leg and extending the left leg. Begin to focus on the right hip pressing into the floor, the right calf pressing into the floor, extending the right arm out into a T, and gently begin to drop the left leg out away from the midline, towards the left, trying to keep both hips onto the floor. Breathe, focus on the breath. And if the left leg won't go to the floor, use a prop to help support the left leg. Feeling the opening of the hips. Breathing slowly, abducting your left leg away from the midline. Inhaling, maybe your intention, your thought, your feeling, your purpose for this hour. Exhaling, anything that still remains that you don't need, that you're still working on letting go. Inhale deeply. Exhale, relaxing even the fingertips, the toes, the ankle, the glutes, the lower back, the inner thigh, the groin, the belly, the shoulders, the lips. Inhale deeply, begin to engage your core. Begin to lift up the left leg, Guided by your left arm, maybe reaching up. Bring the right hand, grabbing onto the strap of or leg, and lift the leg up a little higher. Feel the stretch through the hamstring. Switching hands, bring the left arm out into a T, and then slowly guiding your left leg over the midline. Your left hip will rise up off the floor. Try and keep the shoulder blades onto the floor. And you'll notice how one side may be different from the other. Much more difficult maybe to twist on one side versus the other. Or maybe the shoulders come up on one side, and that's just how it's going to be. Breathe. Maybe for a full twist of the spine, maybe you'll bring the chin over to the left. Gently noticing how the cervical spine is feeling. Again, no pain. There should be no pain. Deeply breathing in. Exhaling. Releasing tension through the body. Focusing on what it's communicating. Accepting where you are. Using the breath, your exhale to relax the toes, the quadriceps, the glutes, the shoulders, the fingers, even the eyes. Think of them just sitting in the socket, relaxing. Begin to engage your core. Your right arm slowly begins to lift, left leg reaching up. Breathe. Maybe the left arm comes and supports the leg as you bend the left knee in, squeezing into the abdomen. Exhaling as you squeeze deeply, pressing gently. Maybe squeezing a little blood, old blood out of the organs. And inhaling, releasing the leg, fresh blood coming in. Arms come up, extending through the heels to the fingertips. Gently bending the knees. We're going to come up into a seated position, however is comfortable for you. We're going to come into bound angle. So you can, for many, especially if you're very tight in the hip flexors, we're going to sit on a block. And this is very helpful, block, pillow, blanket, whatever prop you might have. And this really helps to open up those hip flexors, allowing the knees to drop down. You can always have props next to you for this. If you find that maybe there's too much tension, making sure that your feet, palms of your feet are together and your knees are splayed out in bound angle. Take the time to adjust anything you need. Remembering this is your practice. Here you are not judged, not even by yourself, I hope. Maybe the props next to you will help support the legs if you need that. Or if you feel that you can extend further, just gently press, and using the muscles in your legs to press the knees down. Breathe. As you press the knees down, you lift up through the spine, nice and tall. And then exhale, begin to relax into it. Again, as you need it, as you find that edge, maybe you'll place the blocks right next to you. Breathe. Again, you may not need them at all. You may not feel any tension. And so what you do is bring a block in front of you. And we're going to hinge forward at the hip. You may stay here if you find this is enough. Or on your exhale, slowly begin to bring the belly button towards the feet. Lifting the heart, lifting even the shoulders as you hinge at the hip. And breathe. Again, you might even have blocks or props that are high, and start high. Always progressively go where you need to go. Taking your time, making sure you're prepared, your body's prepared. And then with time, coming down. Taking your time with each breath. With each exhale, maybe deepening. And finding your spot, your pose. And once you've found your edge and you won't go any lower, then allow the shoulders to drop, the head to drop. Even allow the lips to hang, the eyes to be held by the eyelid. Use your breath. Inhale your intention, your purpose for this practice. Knowing that you are enough, that you don't need the ego, you don't need the wall or the mask. You are enough. You were made perfectly you. Deep breath in, slowly, progressively coming up as you came down. Take your time with an inhale, lifting. Exhale, releasing tension where you might feel it. Inhale, lengthen again, breathe. Lifting up finally to your height. Reaching up with the arms. Breathe. You're going to gently twist to the right. Exhale as you do. Breathe. One hand in front between the legs and the other behind you. Inhale, unwind, lifting up. Exhale to the left, reaching right hand to your feet, left hand behind you. Breathe. Inhale, lifting up gently, looking at your fingers, slight back bend. Exhale, hands come down, bring the knees in. If you need to support them with your hands, please do. Remove props or blocks out of your way. Begin to extend one leg. You might be feeling that release on the inner thigh. It's totally fine, totally normal. Bring the hands back and lift the chest up. Reaching up, breathe. Slowly coming forward when you're ready. Use your breath and then come off of your block. If you'd like, you can always sit on a blanket. Just a slight rise, maybe comfortable, as we come into our caterpillar or staff pose. So knowing also that you might be feeling tension in the knees, so you may also use a blanket or maybe a curled up part of your mat to just create a slight incline underneath the knees so that they don't flatten out and lock up. So knowing this is always very good and also helps the lower back if you're feeling tension in the lower back. So caterpillar is basically staff pose. We're coming forward, reaching forward and extending through. A strap is always something you can use, your strap, your resistance band or rope or belt. So finding where you need to be, using the props, preparing, lifting up to the top of the head and feel the tailbone, the sit bones firmly into the mat or the floor. Maybe having a strap ready if you think you'll be using it. And on your exhale, we're going to lift up a nice long spine. And on the exhale, we're going to come forward, keeping the long spine, pressing the belly button again towards the thighs, lifting up through the heart to the top of the head. Maybe using your strap, bending elbows right next to the ribs as you slowly come forward. Each time you inhale, remembering to lengthen spine. Each time you exhale, deepening, finding that release through the back of the legs, through your lower back. Breathing, moving with the breath. Noticing as you listen to the breath and move with it, how your mind is calm, free. Anytime you need to adjust, if you're finding you need the support under the knees, take the time to place the support and prop you need. If you find you need to come up, please do. About 1 more minute. Inhaling your intention, your purpose for the practice. Exhale, relax the lips, the mouth, the forehead, the shoulders. Slowly begin to lift the head and reach the heart forward. Breathe. On your next inhale, maybe pressing the hands up closer to the body and lifting the torso. Breathe. Take your time, maybe bringing the hands behind your fingertips, pointing towards your hips.
And again, lifting up through the spine, counter pose here, stretching the spine in the opposite direction. Breathe. Keep the head in line with the spine. Try not to let it fall back, mindful of the cervical spine. And then slowly come forward again. Bring the knees in and gently arch over the knees, squeezing tight. Breathe. You're gonna bring the feet around and come onto all fours. Last pose before we come into Shavasana. All right, we'll slowly just keep the back nice and limber. We're gonna come into a cat-cow just for a transition before coming into a sphinx. So slowly finding the belly button pressing towards the spine, gently and neutral. Elbows, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Eyes are looking down, good spinal alignment. And then slowly bring chin in towards the chest. Belly button presses up high, curving your back, and tailbone comes down into cat. Pressing the hands into the floor. And then inhaling to neutral, long spine. And then exhaling, allowing the belly to drop. The heart rises, chin rises parallel to the floor, lifting the head gently. Inhale to neutral. Exhaling to cat. 2 more times, your own breath is your guide. And deep breath in. Come forward with the hands half plank and then down onto your bellies. Breathe. Elbows come in underneath the shoulder. Palms plant onto the floor. Tops of your feet plant to the floor, really engaging the legs gently in order to support the lower back. Again, this may be enough for you, or you may feel the forearms press into the mat. As you gently lift the heart, the chin comes up parallel to the floor. Legs are gently engaging, glutes are squeezing gently to support your lower back. Here we're stretching the front line of the body and gently strengthening your lower back. Breathe. If you are not feeling much here, you can always come into seal, but just be very mindful as you press your hands in and slowly lift the elbows up. Notice if you're feeling any pinching, come right back down. But if not, you can extend further the front line, strengthening a little bit more at the back. Breathe. You must be able to breathe, holding this here. Again, any pinching or discomfort in the lower back, come back into Sphinx and support yourself on the elbows. Any issues with the wrists, come back down to the elbows. Breathe. Couple more cycles of breath. This one we don't hold very long. This is a little bit more strength and stretch. Exhale, elbows come down. Head drops. Breathe. We're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, coming up into tabletop and press into child's pose. As you extend the fingertips away from the tailbone, hips reaching for the heels, opening up. Again, if you feel any tension in the knees, you can place a block underneath the hips for support, keeping them up higher away from the heels. The head should be reaching, the forehead should be reaching the floor. If not, use a block or a prop to place underneath the forehead. Deep breath in, coming up and onto your back for our final Shavasana. Taking your time, placing even a blanket underneath the knees if you'd like for support. Socks or sweater on if you're feeling cold. As you extend the heels out and away, really press the toes towards you. Bring the arms down and press the fingertips towards the toes that are reaching up towards them. Really feel the tension, the exertion, the strength. Inhale, exhale, relax everything, the toes, the fingers, the shoulders, shoulder blades, belly button, hips. Inhale one last time, your intention, your purpose for this practice today. And exhale. Any old air, any old thoughts and worries, letting them finally leave you. Focusing on the breath, the movement, exhaling the tension from the forehead, feeling gravity pressing gently against the forehead, maybe pressing down by the temples, around the eyes, relaxing that tension, surrendering it. Exhale and relax tension around the cheekbone. Any activity, any holding you're doing around the lips, the tongue, the jaw. The throat. Feel the back of the head pressing into your mat or the floor. The forearms, the knuckles of your hands completely surrender into the floor. Whenever you're ready, if you're ready, you can stay in Shavasana. Otherwise, begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toe, gently moving the head right to left, left to right, bending the knees. Begin to move the knees with the head, side to side. Lifting up the arms to the side and cross over, reaching around you, giving yourself a hug for today. Thanking yourself for coming here, allowing yourself this hour to be you, to know that you are important, that you are lovable, that you are good and kind. Exhale, arms out. And then gently coming onto your side if you're not already there. And then finding yourself into a comfortable seated position. Arms come up, reaching up, palms come together. Exhale, watching as your thumb comes to sternum, stretching the cervical spine. Bring the shoulders up and then back away. Breathe, lift the chin. I thank you for being here. I thank you for the light that you shine for others every day. The light in me sees and honors that light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Have a peaceful day.